From the years 1693 to 1858, Japan had isolated itself from most of the world. Japan only traded with the Dutch and the Chinese out of a single port in Nagasaki. Besides that, Japan did not trade or have any contact with any other countries for over 150 years. Problems were piling up in Japan. The gap between the rich and the poor kept growing, and countries like Russia, Britain, and the United States had all tried to expand into Japan. In 1858, Commodore Perry from the United States forced the Japanese government to allow international trade. This added to the issues in Japan, as many people saw that the shogun in power could not resist international influence. On January 3, 1868, there was a coup d'etat on the shogun, and the emperor was restored to power. The emperor ruled under the name Meiji, which means enlightened rule. An emperor was restored after 700 years of shogun rule. At the start of the Meiji era, Japan relied on agriculture, had a very weak military, and was behind in industrialization. Industrialization quickly became the primary goal of the government. Feudalism was abolished, education was significantly reformed, and many other westernized reforms were made to rapidly change Japan. With these rapid changes, Japan gained respect from the Western world as a major world power. This is why the Meiji era is sometimes referred to as the birth of a modern nation. The Meiji era ended in 1912 with the death of the emperor, and next came the Taisho period in Japan. It had taken Japan a little over a century to industrialize and completely change its society. By the end of the Meiji era, Japan had created a centralized bureaucratic government and a constitution with an elected parliament. They had developed massive transportation and communication, had an educated population, and ended feudal class restrictions. Japan had become an industrialized and militarized world power and a modernized nation by the year 1912.